Just a quick update, the Patreon page is now live. The link will be down below if you want to check it out. You'll have access to all of my betting packages and much more. Thanks again for all the support, but for now, let's get into the video.
Yo, what's up guys? We're back. We're going to be doing another breakdown predictions video. This is going to be for UFC Fight Night Rodriguez versus Waterson. Yeah, a little bit unfortunate with the main event. I mean, it was going to be a sick main event, man. TJ Dillashaw versus Corey Sandhagen, but unfortunately, I think they're going to try to reschedule that fight, and yeah, we get the main event that we get, but other than that, man, I mean, the whole card as a whole, I do believe is a very strong card, so I am excited to break it down. I do feel like there's some really good fights here mixed in between. And last week, I asked for that 250 likes on my video, and we were able to, hit that goal. So I'm going to up it again. We went from 200 to 250. Now I'm going to try to, get 300 likes. And, I want you guys, again, to write down in the comments, if you like the video, that you smash that like button just so I know, everyone that's out there supporting the video. And obviously, tell me a bunch of other good stuff like who you're betting on, what you think about the fights this week and everything like that. So I'm definitely going to be, looking for your comments, looking to reply, interact with you guys down below. And like always, I always appreciate all the support you guys give me and everything like that. So definitely, going to be keep trying to churn out these good predictions, these good videos. And yeah, man. So besides that, I will be putting out the PFL breakdown and predictions video and a Bellator breakdown and predictions video on my Patreon. I'm not sure if the PFL video will come out late tonight or tomorrow morning, and the Bellator video will be coming out before the event as well. So be on the lookout for both of those. I'm gonna have bets on both those events as well, bets on the UFC. So if you want to check out the Patreon, get in on that. Definitely, recommend you to do that. But everyone wants to hear about this card. Christian Aguilera versus Carlston Harris is the first fight of the night. And, this is two guys that are pretty new in the UFC. Carlston Harris is actually making his UFC debut. Christian Aguilera, this is going to be his third fight in the UFC. Harris, he's actually, even though this is his first UFC fight, he's 33 years old. Obviously, you see that there on the screen. And, 19 fights. So he's fought a lot of times, and he's fought some good guys. He's actually been able to pick up some wins over fighters like Joyton Luderbach. He got wins over Michelle Pereira, Wellington Turman, two UFC guys. And he's coming off a win over a Dagestani, trained with Khabib, a 17-1 fighter. He finished him with a Darce choke, so that was very impressive. It was also on the Dana White looking for a fight, so that's how he got his opportunity for the contract here. So, had to have some, extra pressure put on him over there, and he was able to go out there and still perform well. And, he's a long-rangey guy. I don't know his reach. It doesn't have it right there, but he's going to have a, 4-inch height advantage, and I do expect him to, 3-inch height advantage, but I do expect him to have a pretty significant reach advantage as well. It looks like he has pretty long arms. And, he does try to keep it rangy. He has good movement. He has a good jab. He sets his combinations up with the jab pretty well, pretty accurate jab. He'll throw 1-2s. He likes to jab overhand right. He likes to throw, these straight right left hooks, 2-3s. His left hook is pretty nice. He'll go to the body with it as well. Pretty explosive. He closes the gap with his straight punches pretty nice. And he'll throw some front kicks, round kicks to the body, good high kicks. He's pretty explosive, like I said, so he's a good athlete. He is jab heavy, so he does stand heavy on his lead leg. Fighters can land calf kicks on him, and I don't really feel like he throws with major power. His strikes are more kind of distract for the takedown. He's more of a grappler. He is still a little bit green with his striking. He's pretty flat-footed. He overextends on his punches at times, and definitely needs to be careful, stay sharp early on against a guy like Aguilera, who is a very dangerous knockout artist in the early going. But Harris, 19 fights, he's only been finished by strikes one time. So historically, he's been hard to finish and has shown a good chin. He's a grappler, he has good level changes, good body lock, singles and doubles, so he can mix it up in the way that he takes you down. He has good clinch control. He has good takedowns against the cage, good control against the cage, good grappling cardio, which could be a big factor in this fight. I feel like, he could wrestle for 3 rounds, which I don't really know if Aguilera can say the same. And when Harris gets on top, he's an aggressive passer. He does a good job trapping wrist kick, ground and pound opportunities, gets into dominant positions like the mount or the back, and, he's very heavy there. He is more about position than submission. He only has 4 subs in his 15 wins. He has 2 Darce chokes, so definitely is dangerous with that. When guys turtle to stand up, he'll look for the Darce, and his defensive wrestling does look a little bit questionable. He likes to attack guillotines when fighters shoot in on him. I think that, he has faith he can hit the sub, sweep, or get up quickly. He also did sprawl on a takedown and, threaten a front choke to get on top in his last fight. So, I feel like that's going to be the way to go in this fight. Don't let Aguilera take you down. Sprawl, maybe try to circle to the back, use that Darce to finish the fight, or use it maybe like a, another front choke to just make Christian Aguilera go to his back, get on top. And, I do feel like Harris isn't the most high-level grappler, but he pushes a super high pace. He's fought 5 rounds. He's very wrestle-heavy, and, he's long, he's rangy. So he's a decent fighter, and I feel like he's a good addition to the division for sure. For Christian Aguilera, he's making the walk for the 3rd time in the UFC. He's 1-1. Had a really good UFC debut where he went in there, got a knockout in less than 1 minute against Anthony Ivy. But had a very tough task his last time out. Took on the undefeated Sean Brady, got submitted in the 2nd round. And Aguilera, like I said, very dangerous, explosive early on. 10 first-round knockouts, 6 in under 1 minute. And he's a boxer. He has good feints. He likes to look for only a few punches, though. He likes to find the jab, the left hook. He has a heavy straight right hand. Early on, he's sharp, he's fast, he has tight counters. When he gets fighters hurt, he's a finisher. He isn't a big low kicker, but I will say, in his last fight against Sean Brady, he was landing some heavy leg kicks and should bring those back for this fight. He's a bit of a glass cannon, though. He's been finished by strikes 4 times, and, he does have 11 knockouts, though. And Aguilera, he's explosive. He has solid level changes as well. He has good blast doubles. And when he gets on top, he's a mauler. He has heavy top pressure, good ground and pound. You saw in one of his recent LFA wins against Gleisio Elizario, he was holding him down. He did a good job of landing shots from half guard, hammer fist, short elbows. And, Elizario, didn't really make a lot of attempts to get back up to his feet. I didn't really feel like he was a great opponent. And Aguilera, I didn't feel like he even had to work very hard. But in the 3rd round, he was visibly tired. Gleisio got on top and was able to, kind of control him for the entire round. Aguilera lost that 3rd round. And Aguilera can wrestle hard early, but his grappling cardio is not as good as Harris's. He becomes easier to take down. He slows down. And off of his back, Aguilera has shown a lot of deficiencies. His last 2 losses have came on the ground on bottom. And, Carlton Harris, he's a good fighter. I think that he's long, he's aggressive, he grapples, which is always good as a better. In this fight, his height and reach advantage will be a big plus for him, and it will make it easier for him to close the gap. I think he's going to be able to control or maybe take the back easier in the clinch as well. To me, it doesn't look like Aguilera is the best balance in the clinch. I could see Harris taking him down quite easily. I think Harris's cardio will be a big factor in this fight. He, can go 5 rounds. He's proven that. Aguilera is slowing down in 3-round fights. Christian Aguilera is going to have a chance on the feet. He's going to have to work the low leg kicks, look for the counters, look to pressure, make Harris make a mistake early, maybe counter with a big hook, big uppercut as he tries to level change. And ultimately, though, I feel like Harris is going to be able to get his grappling going, avoid that early knockout, and get Aguilera in the clinch, wear on him a little bit. Once he gets on top, I think he's going to be able to start to really do damage, maybe even get a submission. I don't really feel like Aguilera is very good off of his back. So, I feel like with Harris not being a big submission threat, the fight may go over, may go to decision. But like I said, with Aguilera, having cardio issues and also not being good off of his back, I could easily see Harris getting a finish as well. So, I do think Harris is going to get the win in this one. In the second fight of the night, we got, in my opinion, a more high-level fight, and it's going to be a fun fight to watch with Tafon Nchukwi taking on Jun Yong Park. Tafon Nchukwi, he kept his undefeated record intact in his UFC debut. He outworked Jamie Pickett to a decision win. and he's 5-0 in his career. He's only 26 years old, so he has a lot of potential, has a lot of striking experience, but obviously he's still green in MMA. It's going to be the biggest test of his career. He's going to take on a fighter with multiple UFC wins, and he's settled in a middleweight now. This is going to be his second fight at middleweight. He fought at heavyweight, light heavyweight, and he looked better after having dropped, the weight against Jamie Pickett. I feel like, I don't know if he looked, I don't know if his performance looked better necessarily, but I feel like he looked better in terms of, fitting that weight class. And, he fought fairly well. He, in my opinion, should probably feel a little bit better in the fight, having, cut that weight once, already made it. So, should probably have a better performance here also. And he's a powerful striker, but he's a little bit low volume. He likes to pick his shots. He, likes to look for those one-shot knockouts. He isn't really a combination guy. He has a nasty straight left hand. He has a long reach, and he does a good job of getting full extension on his punches. Very good jab. He throws a really nice, straight right hand. He has a nasty right kick. He'll throw hard body kicks, nasty high kicks, and really likes catching fighters as they exit the pocket with that right high kick. He can be a little bit flat-footed, static, but he does a good job of being defensive. Keeps a good high guard. He does leave his body open, but he does a good job defending a lot of shots to the head. He doesn't really move his head though. Relies on that guard, and Jamie Pickett was able to get through with some straight punches, and I feel like maybe you can get through with some uppercuts. But he's shown a great chin, relentless forward pressure. He bangs the body, makes guys go backwards, and I feel like that slows them down. And he's not an offensive wrestler, but in the clinch, he's effective. He has good knees, good elbows, really good takedown defense, balance in the clinch, super strong. Good job landing trips there himself. He was able to hit a trip on William Knight, then finished him with ground and pound. He has good elbows in the clinch. He'll look for spinning elbows off the break. He has nice body work, good knees, good punches, works short uppercuts so he can dirty box. He was taken down against Jamie Pickett with the double leg, and that's what I'm not really sure about in terms of his takedown defense. I don't know how he deals with freestyle wrestlers on the legs. Most of the guys that I've seen try to take him down have tried to take him down in the clinch, and he's done well there. He does train in a jiu-jitsu gym, though, so I'm sure he's solid on the ground, works his wrestling, and, it's going to be pretty formidable. Jun Yong Park, he had a very good performance his last fight. Granted, he was fighting a tailor-made opponent, but he was able to ragdoll John Phillips for 3 consecutive rounds, and definitely was confident. He was feeling himself because he called out Khamzat Chimaev after the fight. He has 2 wins in a row. He's going to be getting a step up here. He takes on Nchukwi, though. The winner of this matchup is going to be in line for a bigger fight to me. Park is a very good boxer. He has very sharp hands. He has one of the better jabs in the division. His hand speed is very good. He's just good at popping, 2-3 jabs or 1-2-1s out there. He breaks fighters' rhythm, and he's very good at fighting on the back foot. He'll drop heavy hooks, straight shots. He has nice combinations on the inside. He digs the body well. He, does a good job of, just touching guys with short shots, then landing like sharp punches that can really rock you. And he just has very fluid hands, very fast hand speed. Throws nice combinations. He picks his shots well. So his boxing is very good, but he doesn't really have the best defense. Even though he can strike moving backwards, he doesn't move his head very well. He can eat a lot of shots in exchanges. He doesn't really have the most movement. He can get his leg chopped up a little bit as well. And you saw, like in his fight with Anthony Hernandez, that he can get pinged up. Even though he was having a lot of success on the feet, Hernandez was as well. It was a back and forth fight. And against Tafon Nchukwi, I don't know if you want to be eating those big bombs, but his grappling's been the difference for him in his last 2 fights. After he lost his UFC debut by submission, he must have went and worked hard on his grappling, because he's got 9 takedowns in his last 2 wins. In his last fight, he only got 4 takedowns, but he was able to keep the fight on the mat for 13 of the 15 minutes, and he actually set the record for the most ground strikes in UFC history for a 3-round fight. He has good timing on his single legs, his double legs. He level changes after the jab pretty well. He's good at getting that wrist ride when fighters work to stand back up, and landing nice punches from that wrestling ride position, working to the back. He, did dominate, keep down John Phillips, but obviously, that's a very low-level grappler in there with him. He was able to hit the single to back take over and over. He didn't really try to put his hooks in against Phillips or threaten the choke. He really just, wrist rode Phillips, kept his weight on him, and kind of just chipped away with ground and pound. I think he was more worried about just controlling, keeping the position, and getting the finish. You saw in his fight with Marc-Andre Barriault, couldn't really control him when he took him down. And in this fight with Tafon Nchukwi, I do think he may struggle to hold down or take down Tafon, especially early. It's an interesting fight to me because I think people will be on both sides. Park has some hype on him. He had that dominant win his last time out, and Nchukwi obviously does as well. I feel on the feet both guys are legit, but Tafon is going to be able to walk down Park, control the center. Even if Park is winning the round or out-voluming him for the first couple minutes, I believe that Nchukwi will land some hard crosses, hooks, get some good low kicks in. And I think the shots Nchukwi does land will snap Park's head back, hurt him, or just be the more eye-popping shots that win the round. Like I said, Park was touched a lot by Anthony Hernandez. If he gets touched the same against Tafon, I don't think he's going to eat the shots as good as he did against Hernandez. Park has good cardio, but his fight with Barriault, I do think he slowed down because of the low kicks. And if he can't take down and cement top position on Tafon, then we're going to learn a lot about Nchukwi. We're going to know that he's not as good on the ground or needs to work on that. But I feel like being at Lloyd Irving, I think he should be decent everywhere. I haven't seen much of him on bottom, but I feel like he's probably going to be hard to take down. His takedown defense in the clinch looks very good. You do have to worry a little bit of the shots from the outside against Park and see how he defends that. Being the athlete he is, I think he's going to be the stronger fighter. I think he's going to be ready to grapple, defend the majority of the takedowns, work back up to his feet if he does get taken down. Early on, I think that Park on the feet may land some nice shots, touch Nchukwi up a bit, but I think by round 2 and 3, Nchukwi's going to have accumulated some leg kick damage, also landed some damaging punches, maybe busted up Park a little bit, gone to the body. And I'm going to pick Nchukwi to actually win by second or third round KO TKO. I think he's going to be able to touch Park and take him out of there. In this next fight, it might not be the highest level fight, but I do think it's going to be a really back and forth fun fight with Ryan Benoit taking on Zarrukh Adashev. Ryan Benoit, he couldn't get off the snide in his last fight. He lost for the second time in a row, third time in his last 4 fights, and he hasn't really been the best in the UFC. He's gone 3-5. He, obviously hasn't found a lot of success, and in this fight, he's gonna be fighting a fighter he should have a big edge over in a lot of ways. He has more UFC fights than his opponent even has total fights, and it's a bit strange. I mean, I feel like Benoit's one of the only guys in the modern era that can maybe say this, but this is gonna be the second time he's fought someone with less than or with 6 fights or less in the UFC. He actually fought Freddie Serrano, who was 3-0 at UFC 201. He won via split decision. Now he's going to be fighting a 3-3 fighter in Zarrukh Adashev. But Ryan Benoit, he's a forward pressure striker. He has a lot of power. Big right cross, power right kick. More of a counter striker. He likes to counter with the straight right or the left hook and keep the forward pressure. He has good feints. He'll throw good body kicks, good head kicks. He has head kick knockout in the UFC, and he definitely has power. I mean, 2 of his 3 UFC wins are knockouts. Pretty explosive when he decides to go. He can close the distance quickly, but he's static. He doesn't have great movement. He doesn't check kicks. He becomes hittable when he slows down in the second and the third. He doesn't really have the greatest chin to me. I mean, he's never been put out, but I've seen him hurt pretty badly by multiple fighters. Healy Alatang almost had him out of there. And Ryan Benoit, he only has 2 takedowns in 8 UFC fights, so don't really think he's going to shoot in this one. He has worked hard on his grappling. He's brought in guys like Gary Tonin to work with him. Almost caught Tim Elliott in a leg lock. And he's always had average takedown defense. But, he's improved his guard now. And obviously in that fight he showed it. So he's dangerous from his back. I doubt there would be much grappling in this fight. Benoit doesn't have great cardio. I don't think he's going to be able to go in there and push the pace and wrestle for 3 rounds. He slows down in third rounds of fights as it is. For Zarrukh Adashev, I mean, it's definitely going to be his last chance at UFC glory. He's a Uzbekistan prospect, and, the UFC, did him a favor because he jumped in on short notice for his first fight. He also had a very tough second fight in the UFC. Adashev, he came in noticeably better shape. He was a lot fitter in his second fight against Sumadarji, had a lot better performance. He actually dropped Madarji. And he isn't looking for a moral victory this time, though. He needs to prove he belongs, get the job done here. And he's a very good striker. He's excellent movement, good fakes, good feints. He closes the gap quickly. He could switch stances. He's more of a southpaw. Comes forward with nice combinations, very nice right hook. He likes to come forward with the 2-3, the right hook, straight left. He throws straight left to right hook combos as well. And he likes to close the distance with the 2, come over the top with big power overhands. He has fast hands. He flurries forward with nice punches, good hooks. He's good in the pocket. He cuts angles well. He'll rip the body. He mixes kicks into his combinations. Hard low kicks, good body kicks, spinning kicks. He can load up on his hooks, especially the left hook, and be a little bit predictable and get countered. And needs to be a little bit weary about in this fight because he is fighting a power striker. We saw in his fight with Tyson Nam as well, got countered off of throwing a naked leg kick, got knocked out. But being a glory striker, he's obviously not a great grappler. He has okay wrestling, good balance, trips, throws in the clinch, and his takedown defense in the clinch is not that bad actually. He also hit a blast elbow on Ron Leon, but Leon's takedown defense didn't look very good. I doubt that Adashev is going to want to take down Ryan Benoit. If he does, I think he's going to maybe be in a little bit of danger of being submitted. But Adashev, he was able to out-grapple Tevin Dice, who is a brown belt in jiu-jitsu. It was good to see, Adashev be able to out-grapple a guy like that, stay out of submissions. And, Ron Leon, though, did expose Adashev's bottom game. He took him down in the 3rd round and was able to mount him, controlled him on the bottom for a long time. He was also submitted by Rudy Kachok at his debut. And, Ron Leon is a 1-4 fighter. So if he gets on top of you, he could get in dominant positions. I think that, obviously, that's a part of your game that you need to work really hard on. And, Zarrukh Adashev, he's going to need to be careful in this fight. I think he does have pretty good defense, solid chin, but for whatever reason, man, the UFC's insisted on putting him in there with some of the hardest hitting flyweights in the division. All 3 of Adashev's opponents have had knockout power. I expect this to be a striking fight, though. Adashev's going to have the speed, this footwork advantage. Benoit is more flat-footed. He's a little bit static. He likes to methodically move into range, feint, look for counters. He's low volume, and that's led to him being in a lot of close fights, losing some of them, winning some of them. But, obviously, he likes to look for the counter, too, or the big right kick to the body, to the head. Adashev, I think, is going to be throwing a lot more. I think the leg kicks and the cardio are going to be a big factor for Adashev. I think he, is going to be a little bit faster, and he's going to, frustrate Benoit by moving, kicking him. I see him getting, Benoit getting more wild, and that's when Adashev can let go with the counter punches. I think that Adashev is the more durable fighter. Benoit can maybe switch it up and wrestle in this fight, and if he gets into the ground, he should have an advantage. But he's never done that before. I don't really see him doing that. I think it's going to play on the feet. I just think Adashev being the faster fighter, being the guy with the better footwork, I think he can rack up the low kicks, land some nice blitz, switch stance combos, maybe hurt Benoit a couple times with the counters. And I could see even Adashev putting Benoit out. I think Benoit is a guy that is getting a little bit up there in age, has taken a lot of damage, and his chin is as good as it used to be. So I feel like Adashev could even take him out. So I'm going to go with Zarrukh Adashev here to get the win. And this next fight right here, this should be a banger right here. 2 strikers. We got Mike Trizano taking on Ludovic Klein. Ludovic Klein, man, he had an epic UFC debut. He brought his win streak to 8 in fashion. He got another brutal head kick knockout. That's 3 head kick knockouts in a row. Looks to be a real force. And, Klein, he's fast twitch. He's dangerous. He's a counter striker. He is very, very athletic. You could tell by the way that with his in and out movement, the way he closes the gap. He has good fakes, good feints, good footwork. He cuts the cage off well. And he has a good jab, good low kick. He has a really good 1-2. He'll throw the jab, low kick, jab, high kick combos. He, has a good head kick. Yeah, another thing I didn't say about Klein is he is southpaw. So all his strikes really come from that left side. Doesn't really have a lot from the right side. He can be a little bit predictable outside of the jab. And Trizano's a southpaw as well. So it's going to be fun to see that look here. Or my bad, I don't know what I'm saying. Trizano isn't a southpaw, but Klein is a southpaw. So, those kicks are going to be available, the body kicks, that head kick. And, I do think that, he's probably a better kicker at range. And Trizano, he does have those real nice low kicks, though, the inside low kicks. So that's going to be, in my opinion, what he's going to be trying to use is just his jab and his leg kicks. He's a fundamental guy. He has good eyes in the pocket, slipping and ripping ability, good check hook. He keeps fighters honest with that. But, he's coming back after a long time off. He hasn't fought in quite a while. He did win the Ultimate Fighter, and, he's fought guys like Grant Dawson. But, even if you look at it, faced a lot of grapplers, and he's proven, he has good takedown defense and, good scrambler. but he's not an offensive wrestler. I don't think he's going to try to take down Klein, and I just don't see a lot of path to victory for Trizano because both guys are strikers, but, to me, Klein, has better kicks from the outside, the body kicks, that liver kick, the front kicks up the middle, that high kick. He's a little bit faster, and I feel like Trizano, outside of those inside low kicks and the jab, he doesn't really offer a lot that's going to be dangerous for Klein because I don't think he's going to be able to counter him because he's going to be very fast, and I think Klein is just going to be a step above on the striking realm, and I don't really see Trizano being able to mix it up and take him down, so I do favor Klein in this one. I actually feel like Ludovic Klein's one of these guys that I don't think he's overrated, but I think he could kind of run through a lot of guys until he starts to get into that top 15, top 10, and then we got to kind of reevaluate because I think he can be a little bit predictable, but, against these lower level guys, I think just his dangerous offense, his athleticism, being so explosive and just being young, aggressive, I think that's going to, be able to lead to him taking out most of these guys. So, going to go with Ludovic Klein in this one quite confidently. In this next fight, man, we got another really good fight with Kyle Daukaus taking on Phil Hawes. And Kyle Daukaus, he bounced back with the win his last time out. He's 1-1 now in the UFC and 10-1 overall in his career. He is kind of on the outside top 15 looking into me because he had a very competitive fight with Brendan Allen, who is ranked. And, he was scheduled to face Aliaskhar Khizriev a couple times, but that fight never materialized. Now he's getting Phil Hawes, who's jumping in on short notice here. And Phil Hawes, he's looking to make it a quick 3-0 to start his UFC career. He's a Sanford MMA guy. Survived extremely tough fight his last time out. He got hurt very badly in multiple rounds. He won a majority decision on the scorecards. Even if that wasn't a super impressive win by Hawes, I do think going to the cards for the first time in his career, getting the win, will be a confidence booster for him. And Phil Hawes, he's a fantastic athlete. He's a former JUCO wrestling champion. And, just looking at his physique, you could tell the guy is a monster. He's extremely ripped. He's a unit. And, he's running out of striking game a lot since going to Sanford MMA. He's a little bit more composed. He throws a good jab out there. He has good calf kicks. He was effective with the calf kicks against Samavov. And Daukaus, being southpaw, though, I don't really think he's going to get many leg kicks off in this fight. He likes to level change, touch the leg a lot to remind fighters he could take them down and get them to drop their hands so then he can fake that crouch, come over the top with the left hooks. And he likes to throw that left hook overhand right combo. He's good at countering with hooks in the pocket and definitely has one-punch knockout power. His chin is questionable, though. You could tell he doesn't like getting hit. He got wobbled very badly against Nasrina Mavov. He's gotten hurt and submitted in a couple fights, and he showed the most heart he's ever showed, though, in his last fight. He survived a storm in the third round that I think early in his career he may have folded to. And, for Kyle Daukaus, he's a southpaw striker. He has fast hands. He has good boxing. He throws nice combinations when he lets his hands go. He has nice 1-2s, 3-2s, 2-3s, but definitely seems more comfortable in the clinch or on the ground. I mean, that was evident against Brendan Allen because he was piecing him up on the feet, but he kept going for takedowns. But Daukaus being a southpaw, he likes to throw that left kick to the body on orthodox opponents, and Phil Hawes does keep a high boxing guard, so I think the body kick could be effective. Daukaus could land some nice counter hooks, counter twos, and I wish he would throw more volume with his hands, but I do think he's going to be a lot better striker. Defensively, I think that Daukaus is better on the feet. Phil Hawes drops his hands. He doesn't really move his head, and Daukaus, he leaves his hands low. And I do expect, Hawes to be coming over with big overhands and hooks, but I think he controls range a little bit better. He is used to being a longer fighter, which I do think that's kind of why he keeps his hand low to kind of bait guys to close the distance so he can either counter with that 2 or get in the clinch. In this fight, he is going to be at a bit of a reach disadvantage, so I think that, that is something that worries me. I think Hawes maybe early on has a chance to come over the top with a big overhand, big hook, and knock him out. In terms of the wrestling, both guys are very good there. You see that whenever fighters pressure Hawes, he likes to level change, getting on the legs. When fighters pressure Daukaus, he likes to clinch. So, obviously, that's their comfort zones. Daukaus, he gets a majority of his takedowns in the clinch. He's good at using his height to manipulate his opponent, hit takedowns, good body locks, good trips. But, he has pretty good takedowns against the cage. And he's good at using his combination setup as singles and doubles, fast level changes. But I just don't know if he's going to be able to, blast through those big hips of someone like Phil Hawes. But Hawes, he's more of a level changer. He has very good blast doubles, nice singles. He's good at driving opponents to the cage and controlling them from there. His last fight, a lot of the fight took place there. Kyle Daukaus is everywhere, though. Is comfortable everywhere, though. On the ground, his defensive wrestling, isn't great. But he has a really nice high elbow guillotine you'll go to, and he'll use it to sweep them out. He's active off his back with submissions, with strikes, and good sweeps. I don't think Hawes is going to be comfortable even if he's on top. I haven't really seen Hawes taken down or put on his back, but I imagine he's probably not going to be that good there. On the ground, I think Kyle Daukaus is way above Phil Hawes. When Hawes gets on top, he doesn't really have the best top control. He more likes to circle to the back, mat return guys from that wrestling right position. He did take the back of Julian Marquez a couple times, but couldn't really do anything with the position. And he doesn't really have a good submission game. Even his ground and pound isn't overly dangerous. Kyle Daukaus, on the other hand, is excellent on top. He has great passing ability. He's very active. He's extremely hard to stand up from under. He has more submission-oriented game. He has 8 submissions in his 10 wins. And if you could take your back, you're in big trouble. He also has good ground and pound. He broke the face of Brendan Allen with ground and pound. Long arms, so he loves to attack front chokes. He has good darces. His darce is probably his best submission. Darces are dangerous, man, because you can get them from so many positions. You can get them from top half, bottom half, turtle, side mount. Some fighters are just really good at catching them in scrambles, transitions, and if Daukaus can lock up that darce, I don't think Hawes is going to survive that. If Kyle Daukaus gets on top of Phil Hawes, I think Hawes is in serious trouble. I just don't think, unless Hawes can just hold Daukaus in the clinch against the cage, I think that's where the only place where he's going to be safe and be able to rest. Even if he gets on top of Kyle, Daukaus is going to be making him work. I just think he's going to be the fighter with better cardio, the tougher fighter. I think Daukaus is going to be better at range, better on the ground. The wrestling goes to Hawes, but if he can't take the fight to the ground, then he's only going to be safe in the clinch against the cage. And I just don't think that Daukaus, who is a crafty grappler himself, is going to let Hawes stall him out for 3 rounds against the cage. I think he's eventually going to find his way to top position. And if he has time to work, I just don't think Hawes is going to survive there. Daukaus is an aggressive finisher. Phil Hawes, to me, doesn't react the best to adversity. He did better with that in his last fight, but if he's beat up, tired, and Kyle takes his back, I think he's going to give up the choke potentially. So, pick for me is going to be Kyle Daukaus by submission. Oh, man. I mean, we had a lot of good fights in a row, and now we got this one. Ben Rothwell taking on Philipe Lins. Ben Rothwell, this is going to be his 16th time walking into the UFC's octagon, so definitely is a big-time veteran. And, he's won 8-7, so kind of been up and down. But recently, he hasn't looked anything like he did pre-USADA. He's definitely at the tail end of his career. He's lost 4 of his last 6 fights. He's looked very bad in a couple of them. Philipe Lins, he's really underperformed himself since joining the UFC. He entered with some hype because he was fresh off winning the $1 million in the PFL. But things haven't really panned out as good for him in the UFC. His first fight in the company, it was kind of a hard one. He fought a teammate. He fought a former UFC champion in Andrei Arlovsky, and it was competitive, but he lost the decision. His second fight, he got dusted in the first round by Tanner Boser, and Lins gets paid a lot of money, so the UFC is not going to put him in there with easy touches. He's going to have to get in there with another crafty veteran in Ben Rothwell. He's been out almost a year, so maybe he's going to have some better tools, come in better shape. But being 35 years old, I don't really think he's going to bring a lot new to the table. And man, I don't really have a lot to say about this fight. Gonna go with Ben Rothwell by knockout. I feel like Philipe Lins, he's not really a mover. He actually is a forward pressure guy that has fast hands, good counters, and I think he's gonna be trying to maybe chop the legs, which is gonna be really hard to do against a guy that stands so square odd against Ben Rothwell. It's hard to use the leg kicks against him, which is Philipe Lins' best weapon, and just land those counter hooks and the counter straight shots. But Lins, he doesn't really hide. He likes to stay in front of you. He likes to trade. He's going to be significantly smaller than Ben Rothwell, and I don't think he necessarily has the power to put out a guy like Ben Rothwell. I think Ben Rothwell is going to be in his face, landing nice, shots, and I think he's going to be able to knock him out. So I'm going to go with Ben Rothwell, but He's, like a lot of fights, he's going to be at a severe speed disadvantage, and, Philipe Lins comes in here and moves around him and lands some nice combinations, touches him up, and, just touches and moves. Maybe he could get the win, but, I mean, I got to go with the vet. I got to go with Ben Rothwell, who's beaten some elite guys over a guy that's a former 205er that, has never gotten a win in the UFC. So I'm going to go with Ben Rothwell. And here we go. I mean, kicking off the main card, we got another sweep fight right here with Amanda Ribas taking on Angie Hill. And Amanda Ribas, she had her 5-fight win streak snapped in January. She got knocked out by Marina Rodriguez, and she's coming back pretty quickly, man. A little under 4 months later after that finish. Prior to that, she was 4-0 in the UFC, and she's still getting a big fight here against Angela Hill. Ribas also, she did her entire camp in Brazil. She didn't come to ATT for this one, so that's something that you have to kind of take into account. And on the feet, Ribas does have a long reach. She uses it pretty well. She's athletic, and she has good movement. And, she isn't really super effective with her jab, but she will paw it out there. She has a good counter, too, and she mixes up the target of the two. She lands nice body shots. She likes to go to the body with the straight right, then come up with the left hook. She'll throw a nice left hook, straight right combo, or a, straight right, left hook combo. She has fast hands. She'll throw pretty hard. She'll throw some nice spinning kicks. But man, I mean, she overextends on a lot of her punches. I feel like her chin is very suspect as, whenever it seems like she gets hit clean, she doesn't really react well to it. And, she's going to be fighting a girl in Angela Hill who's going to be looking to snipe in this fight. For Angie, she got back in the win column. She snapped that 2-fight losing streak in March. And, in typical Angela Hill fashion, she's back less than 2 months later to fight Amanda Ribas. She lost 2 split decisions in a row before that to ranked opponents. So she's still kind of looking for that marquee win. If she just did defeat Ribas, though, I think she'll probably be in line for a top 5 opponent. And man, I mean, to me, this fight is unpredictable. I mean, when you looked at Amanda Ribas' career, outside of Marina Rodriguez, she hasn't faced any strikers whatsoever. And Angela Hill, on the other hand, has obviously struggled mightily with grapplers throughout her career. I do think Angela Hill has actually been the one to show some progression, improved takedown defense, even improved takedown offense and submission offense. Obviously, she's not going to want to grapple with Ribas, but I think she's going to be much more confident in her grappling than she used to be. And of the two girls, she's shown she's improved more in the area she struggled in, and definitely seen a lot more higher level opponents than Amanda Ribas. When you look at Amanda Ribas' 4 wins in the UFC, I mean, she did get the win over Mackenzie Dern, but I mean, I think we all know that's not the same Mackenzie Dern that we see today. Mackenzie Dern was coming off the pregnancy, very, very quick return for her. Her body didn't even look similar to what it does now. And Amanda Ribas was able to get the win in that fight, so that's probably the best win of her career. But her other 3 victories in the UFC, I mean, came against very low-level competition. She did have the win over Amanda Marcos, and I do feel like in that fight, she showed some holes. She was getting hit with some big shots against Marcos, some nice counters. She was really overextending on her right hand on her jab. And, she had some trouble at times getting Amanda Marcos down in the clinch. Amanda Marcos even hit a blast double on Amanda Ribas in that 3rd round. Obviously, Ribas dominated the fight. She was able to get takedowns, control on top for a majority of the fight. She was able to win a lot of the striking exchanges with a girl like Amanda Marcos. And she was also able to reverse when she got taken down. So she's shown that she's dangerous on top or on bottom. Her striking is developing, and she does throw hard. But, man, I mean, I feel like against Angela Hill on the feet, she's going to be in big trouble. I mean, Angela Hill, really fast, real nice low kicks, nice straight punches. She's going to be looking for the counter. She's going to be looking to pressure, feint, draw out that jab, draw out the straight shot to Ribas, counter over the top. And I feel like on the feet, she's going to be a big level above Amanda Ribas. And Ribas is obviously going to be trying to close that gap, get into the clinch, get the takedowns. But the reason why I'm actually going to side with Angela Hill, the underdog in this fight, is because, Angela Hill has shown that she's very good in the clinch herself. She has good head positioning. She has that Muay Thai background, so she'll throw nice elbows, nice shots off the break, nice knees to the body. She seems like she's strong, she's physical. And she's had a, training partner, one of her best friends that she's worked with for years and years, and Jessica Panay, who's a judo black belt, that's going to be giving her a lot of the same looks, same type of takedowns that Amanda Ribas is going to go for. And I haven't really seen Ribas shoot freestyle takedowns on the legs, singles, doubles, which traditionally is what Angela Hill has struggled with more in terms of her takedown defense. And I just don't trust Amanda's chin, man. I mean, she got knocked out against Polyana Viana. She got knocked out against Marina Rodriguez. She's only had 12 fights in her career, and she's got finished twice at strawweight. I mean, that's pretty alarming. When she gets hit, you could tell she doesn't really fight hurt very good. I mean, she just tries to grab. She gets more aggressive. She doesn't have good defensive movement. And I think Angela Hill, I mean, if she touches that chin, I mean, she's going to make Amanda Ribas go to Wobbletown again, man, get hurt again. I don't think she has a great chin because, if you're getting hurt that badly, I think Angela Hill could hurt you as well. I mean, we saw Angela Hill really hurt Michelle Waterson, hurt Claudia Gadelha. And a thing that Angela Hill has had struggles with is, slowing down in that third round or that fifth round. And I feel like, having that 5-round fight with Michelle Waterson, losing in the later rounds, I think that since it was 5 rounds, she had to have gotten in better cardio shape. And I feel like she looked really good in those first 3 rounds of that fight. I don't think she's going to slow down in this one. I think she's going to be able to negate a lot of the clinch, deny the clinch entries, keep it on the feet, keep it at range, walk down Amanda Ribas, land some low kicks, land some nice, punches up top, and use her feints to really get Ribas guessing and then land some big shots. And I even could see Angela Hill, like I said, taking out Amanda Ribas in this fight and putting her out. So, I'm actually going to go with Angela Hill. I mean, I do think, Yoder, obviously, she isn't nearly as dangerous or physical or strong or athletic as a girl like Amanda Ribas, but it's a good look for, someone that wants to close that gap, is long, that wants to, get the takedowns on you. And Angela Hill looked very good in that fight. I just feel like she's seen a lot more higher level competition. She's tested herself a lot more, and I think that she should be able to go in there and get the win in this one, and come out and have a big time performance and get a big time opponent next. So I'm gonna go with Angela Hill in this fight. And up next here we got Diego Ferreira taking on Gregor Gillespie, and man, I mean, excellent fight here. It's take 2 in the comeback of Gregor. He had his first attempt to return earlier this year against Brad Riddell. The fight didn't go down, and in my opinion, he's getting a much tougher matchup here against Diego Ferreira. Diego Ferreira, he had a 6-fight win streak, got snapped in his last fight, but, that was against Beneil Dariush in a very competitive fight, and he's still confident he can get back into contention, and that also start with the win over Gregor Gillespie. And man, I mean, when you're looking at this fight too, I don't know how anyone could be confident in this fight because we got a guy in Gregor Gillespie who's coming back after a long layoff. I mean, he hasn't fought since 2019. And obviously, we all know what happened in that fight. He got knocked out very badly. So, in his next fight, and, obviously in a lot of Gregor's fights, I mean, he's one of the best wrestlers, if not the best wrestler in the UFC. He's going to want to bring it to the ground, control you, maul you, and take you out. Mat return you, beat you up. He has really good offense from half guard from the full mount. He has good submission game. He's relentless, great cardio, great ground and pound. But I mean, he's never fought a motherfucker like Diego Ferreira, man. I mean, go look at his record. What guy has he fought like Diego that's going to threaten with submissions off the ground, that's going to be able to match the pace of Gregor Gillespie? Diego's not going to get tired. They're going to be in there scrapping for 3 hard rounds. And, who's going to be able to threaten him or get back up to his feet? I mean, the only other guy that you can kind of pinpoint that Gregor fought that was a black belt was Glyco França. And if you look at that fight, there was a lot more striking in that fight than there was in any of his other UFC fights outside of the Kevin Lee fight. And that fight went to decision. And even though Gregor was able to kind of grind him down eventually in that third round, Glyco was tired. He had more top control in that round than any other round. I don't think he's grinding down a guy like Diego Ferreira. I think Diego Ferreira is going to have the cardio to go for 3 rounds. And Diego's been a wrestler killer, man. I mean, go look at him against some of these guys like Hustam Kavilov, who's a Dagestani wrestler. I mean, an elite level wrestler. Jared Gordon. Obviously, we know how good of a grinder that guy is. Diego just dismantled him on the ground. And, when you look at Diego, I mean, he creates so many scrambles. His butterfly guard is so excellent. He'll roll for leg locks. His full guard, he has a lot of submissions from there as well. He has great sweeps. He's never accepting bottom position as either. I mean, I think that in this fight, that's going to be something that's very big. I mean, he does a good job of, getting that reverse crucifix as well and trying to take the back when guys take him down. He is just super, super hard to hold down. His butterfly guard is very, very good. He works back up to his feet quickly. He'll roll for leg locks. He'll attack, omoplatas to, work back up to his feet to create scrambles. And Gregor Gillespie has never seen someone like that. He's never seen a guy that is, so good on the ground, that's going to be making him work to keep the top position, that's going to be getting back up to his feet. And, you could say, yeah, Diego got grinded out in his last fight by Beneil Dariush. He got taken down, and I do think that Gregor could take him down whenever he wants. But, Beneil Dariush is an elite level jiu-jitsu guy that was able to, react appropriately in those scrambles. And even in that fight, Diego was able to get back up to his feet several times, push a very high pace, make it a really back and forth fight. Even one judge gave him the win. So Diego wasn't dominated in that one at all. And man, on the feet, I got to favor Diego Ferreira with this forward pressure game. I think he's going to be trying to really pressure Gregor Gillespie in this one. Use the leg kicks, use the 1-2. He's pretty basic, but he keeps the pressure high. He has pretty heavy hands. He has a great chin. And, he really just wears on these guys by outworking them. And I feel like Gregor on the feet is going to, be at a disadvantage. I think Gregor isn't as sharp with his boxing. He leaves a lot more holes. He's a lot more hittable. I think that Diego has a better kicking game as well, even though he doesn't really let it go too much. I think he should throw the low kicks in this fight. And, I just don't know what's going to happen. Is Diego, when he gets taken down, going to be able to work that butterfly guard, work back up to his feet? Or is Gregor Gillespie going to be able to cement that top position or get into that wrestling ride position and grind out Diego for 3 rounds? To me, this is the closest fight on the card on paper. I don't really have a good read on it. I want you guys to let me know what you think. To be honest, man, I don't really know how anyone could have a solid read on this fight because, like I said, we've never seen Gregor fight a guy that is going to threaten him on the ground like Diego Ferreira, and it's going to match the cardio. So Diego can, make it where Gregor doesn't want to take him down because he's almost getting submitted. Maybe he's going to knock him out on the feet. Or if Diego's a level above on the ground, maybe he'll sweep him and submit him, or maybe he'll submit him off of his back. So, I'm just not confident that the wrestling game from Gregor is going to be enough to beat a guy like Diego Ferreira. I think that Diego is a dog, man. So I'm going to go with Diego Ferreira in this one to bounce back at the win. He's 36 years old. He's just coming off a loss. So this win is extremely, extremely important for him. And I think he's going to get it. But, this is a fight, like I said, I'm not confident in at all. So I'm going to go with Diego. Another slop fest in this one. Marcos Rogerio de Lima taking on Maurice Greene. And De Lima, his transition to heavyweight, has been okay. He's gone 2-2. Kind of had the same issues he did at light heavyweight, getting tired, getting submitted. And Maurice Greene, he's started his career 3-0, but he's lost 3 of his last 4. He's been finishing all of his losses. And his only win came against John Vellante in a fight he didn't look good in it either. So, I definitely feel like Maurice Greene needs a good performance here. And, obviously being 6'7", 82-inch reach, he's going to be significantly longer. And he tries to stay long. Uses 1-2. You'll look for the counter straight right hand, front kicks up the middle, head kicks. But he doesn't really throw good kicks. To me, his kicks are slow, naked. He doesn't check leg kicks. And he's going to be facing a guy in Peizao as a brawler, comes forward, throws big bombs, throws calf kicks. And I think that's going to be the big factor in the fight. Greene doesn't check leg kicks. Peizao throws big leg kicks. And I see Peizao controlling the distance, backing Greene up, in the pocket. I think he's going to have the power edge, the speed edge with the hands. I don't think Greene has a great chin. He got dropped by a jab in his last fight. Peizao can lose this fight just off fight IQ, though. Sometimes he'll go for ill-advised takedowns. If he does that in this fight, gets swept or submitted, that's how he's going to lose. Also, Greene has the reach, and, maybe if he could touch the body, survive early, make Peizao tired, then he can get the win. But I don't think defensively that Greene has the defense to be able to do that, stay at range, and keep it a slow pace. I don't think Greene's going to try to take him down either. He has 0 takedown attempts in the UFC. Maybe try to pull guard and get the submission from bottom that way. But I just don't think he's going to get the win. I think De Lima's the way better fighter. If he doesn't do something dumb, then he's going to get Greene out of there. And I feel like, the line is closer than it should be just because of the fight IQ of De Lima. He likes to go for takedowns when he shouldn't get them and gets submitted a lot. And, yeah, he's kind of tough to trust. But I feel like, if he comes down here and fights you a good game plan, he could be like a minus way bigger favorite than he is. So I like Peso de Lima in this one. And up next year, we got a fight that was actually supposed to happen last year. Unfortunately, Geoff Neal had to battle some serious health issues, so it forced that fight to be scrapped. But Geoff Neal has gotten in the cage since then. He went in there against Stephen Thompson. He lost. He's still 5-1 in the UFC, and if he can get beat Neil Magny, he's going to be in line for another top opponent. Neil Magny, he lost his last fight against Michael Chiesa, but he's been hanging around the top 10 for years now, and beating Neil Magny definitely means something. Going to try to defend his position again, send back another prospect in Geoff Neal. But it's going to be a tough fight in my opinion. I feel like Neil Magny, obviously, he's going to have the length and the reach advantage over a lot of his opponents. And I think he's gotten a little bit better at using his reach, using his jab, staying long. But, he still crashes the clinch. I don't really feel like he has great speed. I think that Geoff Neal is going to be a lot faster. He's going to close that distance, and with those southpaw weapons, I think he's going to be effective. That left kick, the left kick to the body, the leg kicks, the high kicks, the straight left hand. And another thing is Geoff Neal does have good forward pressure. He was able to back Stephen Thompson up to the cage. I mean, even in the first round of that fight, or even in early on in that fight, later on, he didn't really have as much success. And Stephen Thompson is just so good at touching, getting off the cage, great movement, great footwork. And, he was just able to pick Geoff Neal apart. But if he can get Neil Magny backed up to the cage, Neil Magny, I don't really think he has great defense, in the pocket. He could lean back with his chin in the air. And I think Geoff Neal could land some bombs there. I think Geoff Neal could also attack the leg kicks. The clinch, Neil Magny obviously is very good there. He has good body locks. If he gets on top of Geoff Neal, then maybe he's going to be able to have success there. But I don't think that he's going to be able to have success on the feet with his volume game. I just think that Geoff Neal, being a big power puncher, being a lot faster than Magny, and just being explosive, being the guy that, in my opinion, is going to be coming forward, backing Magny up, I think he's just going to be able to land that straight left hand, land that left kick, and just be better at range than Magny, be faster, close that gap. I think he's going to land the harder, more impactful shots. And I feel like he's going to be able to keep the cardio for 3 rounds for sure. I also feel like, his takedown defense is elite. He showed that against Bilal Muhammad, some other guys. And I don't really see Neil Magny having a lot of success taking him down, holding him down. In the clinch, I feel like Magny is strong. But I think that Geoff Neal is actually the stronger guy. I think that he's going to be ready for the clinch game of Neil Magny. I mean, he's had 2 camps for this guy. So I'm going to go with Geoff Neal. I think he's just going to be able to maybe even land that finishing shot against the cage on Neil Magny, but definitely just be the sharper guy, make Neil a little bit hesitant to throw his volume because of his power shots, and just be the better striker at range, get it done. So I'm going to go with Geoff Neal. And next up here, man, I mean, we could talk about the other matchup that's supposed to happen forever, right? We had Diego Sanchez was supposed to take on Donald Cerrone, but yeah, that sucks. Unfortunately, Joshua Fabia and a lot of other stuff I'm not really going to get into kind of, ended that, any hope of that fight happening. And, Donald Cerrone is still going to be on the card, but now he's going to be facing Alex Morono, who's accepted this fight on real short notice, like 6 days notice. That's something that I think is pretty evident, or pretty something that you have to kind of take into account, because Morono is someone that slows down in some of his fights, gets tired. And, obviously taking this fight on very short notice, that could be a factor. But, both these guys obviously haven't had great runs recently. He's lost 2 of his last 3 fights. Cerrone, he's winless in his last 5, even though, in my opinion, his fight against Anthony Pettis, I thought he won. The fight against Nico Price was a draw, very close fight. So he hasn't really been looking that bad, in my opinion. And, he's getting a significant step down in competition here, taking on Alex Morono. And I got Cowboy all day in this fight, man. I mean, Cowboy, he's been training at Syndicate MMA. He's been training at the BMF Ranch. He put in a full long camp for this fight. He wants to get back in the win column. He's dropping back. He's, in my opinion, just dropping back into like that mindset that he had before, where he wants to kind of start racking some wins together, get on a win streak, and, try to, get back into some marquee fights. I really feel like he has that hunger again. And Alex Morono, I mean, I think it's a perfect type of matchup for Donald Cerrone, because Morono, I mean, he's not really a super forward pressure guy. He does pressure, but he doesn't really have the best footwork. I feel like Cerrone is going to easily be able to kind of just stay at his range, avoid the looping shots of Morono. Morono, he's a looper. He doesn't really throw straight punches, which is going to be something that Cerrone, in my opinion, is going to be able to eat up, but with those intercepting knees to the body, with his straight shots, with his body kicks. Obviously Morono obviously comes in too with this high guard. I think that it's going to leave his body very open to that left kick, to that right kick that he throws Cerrone. I mean, he doesn't switch stances a lot, but he can switch stances and throw that, switch kick that he throws. I think he's going to be able to land, both legs effectively with his kicks. And I feel like, if he starts to wrestle too, I mean, he could take him down easily. Morono doesn't have good takedown defense, doesn't have good get up. So Cerrone, I mean, maybe if he's feeling the forward pressure from Morono, which I don't think is going to happen, then he could level change, get the takedown, get on top, and control that way. I also feel like, the head kick is going to be there for Donald, man. I think he's going to set it up with the low kicks, set it up with the body kicks, and I think he's going to knock out Alex Morono with the head kick. We saw Anthony Pettis hit him with the spinning heel kick, almost knock him out. And we've seen Alex Morono get hurt in a lot of his fights. I feel like Cerrone has a good matchup here. I think he has him beat everywhere. I think that, cardio-wise, Cerrone is going to have a big edge as well as it goes down the stretch. And, man, I don't feel like Morono is gonna give him much, man. I don't think Morono really does a great job of countering either. I think he's a very kind of slow guy. And I think Donald's going to be able to set up that high kick and knock him the fuck out. So I'm going to go with Donald Cerrone in this one by knockout. And finally, we got the main event here. We got Marina Rodriguez taking on the karate hottie Michelle Waterson. And yeah, I mean, this fight, obviously, it's pretty simple, right? It's going to be a striker versus grappler matchup in terms of this. I mean, obviously, Michelle likes to strike in most of her fights, but I don't know if she's going to be able to strike with a girl like Marina Rodriguez. I think Marina Rodriguez is one of the better strikers in that division, and I think it's going to look similar to her versus Joanna and Jacek with that kind of Muay Thai style if it does stay on the feet. I just think that Michelle is outgunned power-wise. She doesn't throw, a sharp technique. I don't think that she doesn't, in my opinion, react to punches the best. Sometimes she can kind of have bad reactions, and I think Marina is going to be able to put the pressure on and really land some big, hard shots. In the clinch, Marina is very good with the knees, with the elbows. She's going to have a significant height advantage. I think that's going to help her get that Thai plum and really go to town with that Muay Thai clinch. Another thing that I don't like about this fight for Michelle, like that I really don't like, is it's that flyweight, man, 125 pounds. I mean, Marina's going to be way, way bigger than her in there, man. I don't know what Michelle's going to weigh in at, but to me, Michelle is the atom weight. And for her to be moving up to flyweight here, fighting 5 rounds, I think that, it's not going to help her cardio. I don't think it's gonna make it easier to get takedowns because I think that Marina's just going to be a lot heavier, a lot stronger. With this fight, I mean, Michelle's obviously going to be trying to take it down, right? I don't think she's going to be having success like with singles and doubles. She gets her takedowns in the clinch. And unless Marina just gets way like overboard with her knees or something, or kind of just like makes a mistake, I think she's going to be able to deny that. Even if Michelle does, somehow get a couple of takedowns, Marina, she has a good guard. She's offensive off bottom. She doesn't really have good get-ups, which I would wish she would work on more along with her takedown defense, because I think that, if she can keep it on the feet, she's just going to be a gremlin for a lot of these chicks. But, yeah, I mean, that's Michelle's path to victory there. I just see, man, this fight, I just see Marina just walking her down, just beating her up on the feet. Like, I don't think Michelle's going to land much meaningful offense. I think Marina's going to bust open Michelle's face like Angela did. I think she's really going to just put a lot of damage on her. Yeah, and I mean, we saw Michelle Waterson against Angela Hill. She really struggled to get takedowns. It's a similar matchup with the girl that struggles with takedown defense. It's a striker, but I think that Marina throws more heat. I think that she has, a better striking arsenal than Angela Hill. And I wouldn't be surprised if she got her out of there later down the stretch in this fight, especially being 125 pounds. She's probably going to hit even harder. Yeah, I mean, I think Waterson, the only way she could win is if Marina just really, her takedown defense looks horrible again, and she just doesn't work her get-ups, and Michelle could pass her guard, stay on top, but I think that's a long shot. I don't think that's very likely to happen. I think that Marina actually could be a little bit bigger favorite than she is. And I'm going to go with Marina Rodriguez to get the win in this one pretty confidently. So there you have it, guys. For the parlay of the week, I'm going to be doing Marina Rodriguez and Ludovic Klein parlay. For my most confident pick on the card, it's going to be Ludovic Klein. And for the underdog of the week, it's going to be Zarrukh Adashev. So, yeah, guys, thanks for watching once again. Like I said in the beginning of the video, 300 likes. Let's fucking do it, man. Let's get this 300. Really want to get to 300 likes. I don't know if I've gotten 300 likes on a video in a while, so it'd be pretty sick. And, yeah, man, like always, like I said earlier, I'm going to have the content coming out on the Patreon with my PFL video, my Bellator video, my bets. So if you want access to that, check that out. To get the Bellator, the Patreon, or the Bellator and the PFL, it's only $10. So yeah, man, definitely would recommend checking that out. And yeah, man, always appreciate all the support like always. I'll talk to you guys later.